Hello and welcome back to another Escape from Tarkov gun guide video. Today I'm going to be covering 4 builds for the AKs to use with the massive AK buff that Tarkov has just received. A couple of days ago, Tarkov had a massive buff to AKs of all types in terms of their recoil. The lowest possible recoil for both the 7.62 and 5.45 AKs is much lower than it was before, putting them on par in many cases with the 5.56 rifles and the 7.62 full auto rifles as well. So today, I have an AK-74 and AK-74M build for the 5.45 guns, and then I have an AK-103 and an AKM build for the 7.62 AKs. I'm aiming to make these endgame oriented, so my assumption here is that you're going to have access to the high tier parts, either with money through Flea or the Traders Maxed. Come next wipe, I will have some new AK builds for the lower tiers, as that's when they will be relevant. Kicking off our builds is going to be the AK-74. You'll want to start with a stock AK-74 from Prapor and then head to Skier. From Skier, you'll need a B33 dust cover, an RP1 charge handle, and the B30 handguard. Next, head to Mechanic and grab the Scorpius pistol grip, the JMac AK-74 4C muzzle brake, and the last parts that we need come from Peacekeeper, and these are going to be the Zukov S-Stock and the Magpul RVG foregrip. This brings the build out to about 120k, and it sits at 74 ergonomics and 50 vertical recoil, making it a crazy good gun for its overall cost. The second build today is for the AK-74M. For this, you'll need a stock AK-74M either from Fleet or Prapor. After that, head to Skier and buy the RP1 charge handle, the B33 dust cover, the B30 handguard, the AK-74/100 PT lock, and the PT3 Classica stock. Next, head to Mechanic and grab the JMac 4C muzzle brake and the Scorpius pistol grip. The last part you need is the RVG foregrip. This build comes out to about 130k with 73 ergonomics and 52 vertical recoil, which actually causes it to be worse in every way over the AK-74. So for now, if you aren't modding for looks, my suggestion is to just use the AK-74. I still think the 74M looks cool, so I'll still be using it myself, but again, when it comes to cost versus stats, 74 beats it out of the water. Moving on to our 7.62 AKs, we're starting off with this AK-103 build. This build looks almost identical to the 74M because so many of the parts are the same, but let's get into it. Starting with the stock 103, you'll want to head to Skier and grab the B33 dust cover, the B30 handguard, and an RP1 charge handle. Finally, grab the AK-74/100 PT lock and the PT3 Classica stock. You're going to head to Mechanic after that and grab the JMac 4C muzzle brake and the Scorpius pistol grip. Last part you need is from Peacekeeper, and that's the RVG foregrip. This brings the AK-103 to 75 ergonomics and 64 vertical recoil for a price of 139k, and the nice thing about this build is that it's literally 7 recoil for meta, which is currently 57 vertical recoil, but it has quite a bit more ergo. The final build for today is for the AKM. I looked at the differences between the AKMN and the AKM, and currently there are none. Just the stock version of an AKM comes with a magazine that reduces ergo by -1 so that it appears worse than the AKMN, but it's the same other than for the dovetail mount. And because today we're not going to be using the dovetail mount, it's better to go with the AKM because it is cheaper. Getting into the build with the stock AKM, head to Skier and grab the B33 dust cover, the RP1 charge handle, and the B30 handguard. Next, you're going to head to Mechanic and grab the JMac 7.62x39 muzzle brake for AKMs and the Scorpius pistol grip. Next, you're going to head to Peacekeeper and grab the RVG foregrip, and finally the Zukov S stock. Overall, this brings a build to 70 ergonomics, 65 vertical recoil, and for a price of about 133k. So compared with the AK-103, you are paying 6k less, but you also have 5 less ergo and more vertical recoil. So in general, the AK-103 will be a better gun to run, but a teeny bit more expensive. Thanks to the buff AKs received, they're now much more comparable to the native alternatives, and that's great to see. Come the next wipe, I'll definitely have some early wipe builds and mid-game builds, but as of right now, it's not really worth the energy to produce those because there isn't really a point to them this late in wipe, especially considering everybody has a ton of money because of the bitcoins, as well as just it being pretty far into the wipe too. Hopefully these builds help, and if you guys have any suggestions for builds or guns you would like to see me do builds for, leave a comment in the section below. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if it helped you or you liked it, please leave a thumbs up and subscribe, as they really do help the channel out. If you have any comments, feel free to leave them down below, and also have some links to my social media that you can check out, as well as my Discord link where I'm fairly active. Thanks again, and I'll see you in the next video.